Hey guys, welcome back. Wanted to give you some updates on the Rebel. It's been a minute because I got 4 kids and I got a lot of projects on the go, and well, you know how it is, right? So anyway, where I think I left off last time is the exhaust chop here. So I chopped it right off at the headers. We're gonna see how that one works out because that's actually a little bit less than I wanted on there, but it won't be quiet, so that'll be nice. Got the carburetor rebuilt and reinstalled, and actually I just finished hooking up the throttle lines to it and everything like that, so it's good to go. Still missing an intake, because I'm gonna actually have to build my own intake hose going out the other direction, so that'll be one of the next steps. Seat, as I said, the seat mounts are actually welded in place here. I'm gonna paint the base of them so they're black, so I just have to spray that a little bit. Handlebars are in place. What I'm really proud of recently is this dual headlight setup. They're a little misaligned at the moment. They're gonna need to point closer down towards the road. But what I did is I took away the bulky headlight that it normally comes with like this and replaced it with dual LED lamps like that. Actually, these were ditch lights that I was using on an old WRX, and was able to mount it to the original bracket that's built on the bike like this. So they're a little pointed up. They'll both need to be slightly tilted down, but they're installed, they're wired, they're ready to go. I'm really actually stoked about this because I think the dual look kind of matches the look of the bike. It actually, because I ran narrower bars up at the top, it actually kind of narrows out this front end a little bit. So instead of that big bulky one like that you see in the two like that. So I'm really stoked about that. Over here, replaced the chain. I don't know how long ago the chain was replaced, but kind of a rule of thumb for me is I always replace the chain when I get a new bike. So replace it with this cool gold one like that. I think it was like I don't remember the specs on it. I think it was 120 links long though. It was a good sized chain. Anyway, replace that. Tighten the chain tensioners here. I actually broke the chain tensioner on the other side and had to buy a new one for my Honda shop. So another big shout out to Honda of Houston for actually having it in stock. For a 22-year-old bike, they had a chain tensioner in stock, which is always awesome. So replace the chain tensioner on the other side, got the chain installed nice and tight. Just finished installing this. So this is actually the license plate bracket here with the tail light. I'm in Texas, so in the state of Texas, you don't actually have to run turn signals in the back of the bike, which doesn't make any sense to me because you have to run them in the front. So legally they have to be in the front, but you don't need to run them in the back, which I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so I've got a stoplight here. You do have to run a license plate light, and so there's an LED underneath here that's gonna shine down on the license plate. Here's where the plate's gonna go. But it'll actually, you can't see it in the lens, but it actually just says stop, like so. Yeah, I'm actually really pleased with how I frame it up. The seat's just sitting there, so in case you're like, Jesus, that's out of the back. Yes, I know, it's just sitting on top of the bike at the moment. But it cuts a pretty mean line, I think, like this. Here's the tank, so an update on the tank. I've actually had to do like 5 coats of paint remover and then go over the whole thing with a wire wheel, like 16 times. And you can see some of the white stuff. This is the paint remover that I was using like that. But we're almost there. Actually, I just have some details here. I'm not gonna worry about the tunnel because you won't see it, or the lip, that also won't be seen, but everything else, including the mounts here like that, are gonna get, I'm gonna finish burning them down like this and then repaint it. I've actually got a pretty cool, my kids helped me pick this out. I'm gonna run some black primer here. And I really like this primer because it sits so hard and just levels out everything, imperfections. And you can't see it very well, but this is a flip paint. So depending on the angle, it kind of does a green, bluish, purple business. My kids really liked it, so they were like, hey, let's run this on the bike. And, you know, we'll see how that looks. I think it's gonna be all right. But I actually really am pleased with the line it's starting to cut. Obviously, I'm gonna put the tank back on. So some few odds and ends, gotta finish mounting the seat, finish painting the tank. The bars I mounted with this powder coat on actually don't leave enough room for the throttle barrel like this, so it sticks a little bit. So I've gotta sand this part of the handlebar down. I've got some new handlebar grips, which are a little bit more red than brown. I actually wanted something closer to this, but I think with sunlight, they'll fade to a lighter brown like that. So I'm gonna put some new handlebar grips on it. But hopefully we're not too far from done, actually. Just, I say odds and ends, there's a decent amount of work left, but I think it's gonna be running in the next few weeks, and I'm really stoked. I'm really curious to see how this this wrapped header pipe is gonna sound, because yeah, I don't think my neighbor's gonna like me anymore. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Stick with the channel, and hopefully we'll finish the build before too long, move on to other projects. We still got the 71 Triumph that's actually pretty much, well, I've got all the parts, so there's the engine behind it. Need to drop that back in there, and then I've got all of the front end parts for this 81 Camaro Z28. under the jacket there. You can't see it, but everything I need, A-arms, springs, shocks, calipers, pads, everything to go back on the Z28, because I promised my son it would be back on the road before too long. So plenty to come up with. Hopefully there's plenty of time for it too. Thanks for stopping by.